Your Psychic-Astro-Cast by YILDIZ Readings 5D, your psychic medium, soul coach, and intuitive astrologer online. Do you want it all in one place? Are you tired of getting less and really wanting more? Are you ready for a better ride? The First Wives Club says it best: don't get mad, get everything. If you're ready for your guidance from point A to point B in love, career, wellness, and more, join our Psychic-Astro-Cast with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Let's get your life roadworthy and ready for success. Get it all with psychic updates, intuitive astrology, soul coaching, and more. Information is power. Welcome to our Psychic-Astro-Cast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Yes, we are going to dive into the what, why, where, when, and how, and have a look at what's coming up this month to best navigate it. We'll first look back at last month to make some sense and context of it, and then into the must-know transits for the month. Yes, we have all areas covered. You can stream forward and stream back to the area of concern, and please feel free to visit us online at yildizreadings.com for your VIP edition. These are covered bi-monthly, and yes, as I mentioned, in the future, these may become a weekly edition. Now, those of you that are keen to really understand what went down last month to help you best navigate moving forward, especially if you were really up in your head to do with a particular area in your life, I'm going to help you make some context of that. Separately, we're then going to get straight into the updates for the big boy transits for the month of July 2022. If you do wish to, you can stream forward into the section that you find is most interesting or important to you at this point in time. Without further ado, let's take a look down memory lane. Now, yes, we did have quite a heavy transit last month, and especially due to the fact we were having a double Mercury retrograde. Even though it did go direct by the 3rd, shadow direct, it was a double Mercury retrograde. And during Mercury retrogrades, as we all know, they can be quite tedious. This one, being a double whammy, did cause a lot of conflict. We may have seen in the collective, in our working environment, lack of staff, extra burdens with their schedules, stress levels, and conflict mentally and physically. We had a full moon on the 14th in Sagittarius. Now, yes, this again did take us back to the past, all the way back to the eclipse season in 2021. So if you can remember back, very much linking to when we had a Venus retrograde, we did have an eclipse in Sagittarius. So psychically, I was picking this would feel a little bit like an eclipse, and it was because it was ending that cycle. So if you can think back to 2021 and situations that you personally were dealing with, you were closing that cycle. Now, Neptune also was gearing up, ready to go retrograde by the 28th of July. This did come very close to that new moon in Cancer, which are the themes that we will be moving into the month of July 2022 with. The other thing I can say is, due to the fact we are so close at the end of the month moving into July with that, those are themes that will continue into the month of July 2022. This can be a time where things become very transparent, very realistic. Initially, we may experience it and feel a little bit disillusioned, unsafe, and projectile. So, forewarned, forearmed. Now, the must-know for July 2022, as mentioned previously, is the recovery of Neptune retrograde. During that cycle, in the area of Pisces, you will be quality assuring and taking a very realistic approach. Retrogrades don't have to be negative. They're a time of introspection and adjustment. This month, we have a full moon in Capricorn and a new moon in Leo. We also have Juno, the asteroid of marriage, moving retrograde, which can, at a collective level, cause triggers within relationships, be it you're single or couple. Those blasts from the past, like Venus retrograde, can occur. I'm hosting a webinar on the 12th if you want that added support. Moreover, this does retrograde on the 24th of July. Deep healing, we do have Aries in Chiron moving retrograde on the 19th of July. This also can be a time where we can reflect, we can heal, and we can gain extra courage to deal with any of those emotional challenges. Jupiter also by the 19th will move retrograde. When it does come to expansion, transformation, and jumping in the deep end, we may feel that we're going backwards. Now, this doesn't have to be a negative thing. This can be a time within our charts and within our lives where we are reflecting and quality assuring those actions and steps forward for 2024. Scorpio, big month. Yes, a lot of us are still recovering from Mercury double retrograde last month. And with Venus in the house of Gemini, we're having this movement forward. Now, I also feel with the new moon in Cancer, it is hitting your 9th house. Some of us are still trying to get our bearings around that. And we can find for about 1 to 2 weeks into the month of July, it can be a little bit testing. So I would highly advise you to be patient with yourself, to be in awareness of your own personal needs. We do later in the month have Juno going retrograde, which I am hosting a webinar online. It is the marriage asteroid, and we can have changes happening there, and that can be for singles, couples, as well as those of you who are just in between, really. Big changes emotionally, psychologically, and physically. From my personal experience, anytime Juno has retrograded or moved direct, there has been a major change inside of my connection. It is in the house of Pisces this year, and Neptune might have given us a little bit of a PDF, and that might have been your belief systems. Regardless, collective energy will have a bit of a shake-up with this, and it does retrograde for about 11 weeks. So if you do want to dive deeper into that, feel free to come and join us. Now, I do feel by the time we move into the second week, where we have the full moon in Capricorn, this is Cancer's shadow sign, and although we are looking at your star sign, Scorpio, I am seeing for you, you could have some information coming in. You might also be very bold with the way that you communicate. Emotionally speaking, this could be a fantastic time for talking about those situations of the past. And I really firmly do believe that a lot of us are going to be reconnecting with past tense friendship groups, past tense love interests. So be open to it. And if you want to dive deeper, come through. Let's have a look at how your energy is coming through for the first 2 weeks of July 2022. Now, yes, we do dive deeper into this in the VIP edition, and that can be found at YILDIZreadings.com. Now, I'm seeing in the first week, both parties in the mix here could be looking at where to from here. Now, this can be planning, it could be relocating. For some of you, it could even be a brief holiday. There is a new direction you're moving in, and I feel this could be a very exciting time. Some of you also are still recovering from the new moon in Cancer, where although it is a beautiful energy, sometimes we need a moment. There are some testing transits in the first week. We do have squares occurring. So, you know, the letting go and believing in ourselves, as well as maybe getting on the same page, can be a little bit testing. So we need to keep that communication open and also have that self-mastery. I do feel the social energy around you is going to be very go, go, go. You also could be having insecurities come up during this time. So if that is happening, try not to be too hard on yourself. I do feel with Mars entering Taurus, it could be, how could we describe this? This is going to amplify your appeal, so to speak, but it could cause aggression. There could be war wounds that come up. There could be projectile energy landing in the 7th house. So be cautious with that as Mars moves into your 7th house. Now, you could have a lot on your plate. Your nerves could be a bit frizzled, but people will be deeply attracted to you. It could cause some jealousy within the connection, so pre-warned, forearmed. Now, career can be extremely busy, and yes, there could be personal development that you are undertaking. We also cover the business aspect of astrology. If you're running a business, especially with the new moon in Cancer, I do cover that, FYI. Now, what I do see is for some of you, you could either be educating someone, you could be upskilling, it might be that you're signing contracts. Now, if you are signing contracts, although I am not a professional advisor, it's astrologically based, read the fine print. Neptune can hide things. You also could feel a little bit overwhelmed. Some of you could feel underwhelmed by a circumstance. So gauge where it lands for you. Now, there could be an opportunity for great wealth in the first 2 weeks. So keep your P's and Q's about you. If you didn't transit into a different position and you feel it's overdue, some of the paperwork could be coming up this month where you're going to tie that up. And I do feel by the time we reach the full moon in Capricorn, many of you might have a lot to do in cramming. There could be some rules and regulations you need to adhere to. Red tape, so to speak. Watch out for that. I do feel overall it is going to be positive and something can really be swinging in your favour. I do feel overall you are in a very strengthened position when it does come to your financial abundance, and the choices that you're making are going to help you moving forward. Now, managing those stress levels will be key. And yes, with the 9th house, you could feel a bit foggy. You also could feel misunderstood. So, nurture those feelings and try to understand self. I think, we all would love everyone in the world to understand us. And sometimes it can feel very frightening. We feel very isolated or like the black sheep of the family. And with the transits in Cancer at the moment, we can have subjects to do with that coming up. I do feel it's important to look after yourself. There could, if you're very unhappy in a certain circumstance in your life, that situation is going to amplify. But overall, I do see you really digging deep. Some of you might be having checkups. Again, I can't give you medical advice. But with Venus in the 8th house, you could be having checkups. This can be fem checkups or anything to that degree. If you are having changes happening as you move further into the month, pay attention to them, and I do feel it's important to get on top of them. I do feel it's important not to burn out, so organisation is going to be the key this month. I do dive deeper into this online where we will cover your chakras, how to best support it. The one chakra I would advise for you at this point is solar plexus, and that's because we're in recovery of the new moon in Cancer, and so a lot to do with inner child's going to come up. Love and light. Take care, beautifuls. Hey, let's have a look at the psychic energy for your star sign for your bi-monthly update. Now, I do see psychically there is a circumstance surrounding a loved one that passed over. Now, I feel this is an old situation. I do feel this loved one is trying to communicate with you. I also feel as though there could be some sense of document or legacy that you're directly dealing with right now, and they're trying to support you in it. I also feel there's some big dreams that you're wanting to achieve, and this could have been that it wouldn't have happened without them for some of you. And I feel they're an awareness of it. I do feel a male energy coming through. And I also see there could be, look, I feel you're pulled in between a rock and a hard place. I feel you're trying to appease the situation. This is a very large message coming through. You're trying to keep one side of the fence happy and the other, and this is causing great stress. And I feel it's about actually letting go from either side of the fence and coming into this oneness where you can say, okay, enough about all of that. What can I do? And I feel it's only then that you're going to make a decision, but there is a major decision here that needs to be made. And I feel for some reason it's quite timely. I also feel this stress level could be causing conflict in your work. So keep an eye on that, because especially with the 9th house, it could be a bit of trouble. Thanks for joining us, Psychic-Astro-Cast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. If you haven't downloaded the app, please do so. Yes, you can actually get your posts on the go. Bookings, webinars, updates, notifications, and more. We also provide YouTube notifications if you didn't know. Yes, we will see you for each edition online with YILDIZ Readings, potentially more to come. Have a blessed month.